There's Nick Folk ready to put this one in the air. And we are underway from Hard Rock Stadium. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And trotting out there leading them is their fourth-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he's on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Marino on play action. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Marino sets up. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense, 1st and 10. Here's Marino. This one swung out to Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 more there and another first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They go play action with Marino. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down of the sack.
Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
From the shotgun, Marino. He finds his man, complete. That's Clayton. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 34.
What my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Marino. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Marino's incompletion on first down leads to 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
gets a big conversion there on third down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a first and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, first and goal.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now second and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Now Marino. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on third down.
Third and goal, Marino.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Sanders' kick is good, and the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And leading them out, their signal caller, now in his 4th season in the NFL.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
To throw on first down is Namath.
Complete. It's Johnson. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on. How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early, but they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one.
Play fake, now Namath.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't. And a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some big jelly or something like that.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 37. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. That's already the third time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the three.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
To throw is Namath. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up fourth.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on third down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. Marino will look to throw on first.
The throw led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. On second down, Williams.
And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8.
To throw is Marino.
He'll drop this down to Williams.
And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And they were in field goal range last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Off the play fake, it's Namath.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Here's Namath.
And that's off the mark, incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Namath now from the gun.
And he comes back with one complete. They'll give him 4 yards there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Here's the Jets punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football.
Miami set to take over.
They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. In motion left goes Warfield.
And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep.
And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Now it's Marino. He finds his man, complete. It's Clayton. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They'll throw on 1st down with Marino. They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Marino's throw taken in here by Jackson.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now Marino to throw it. Got his man. It's Williams. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will make it 6-0.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So a couple of field goals now. 6-0 our score as the kick's away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. New York's offense back out there and set to go.
And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Martin, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Throwing is Namath.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
6-0 our score after 1. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Namath to throw.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. And these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm, trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Miami's offense set and ready to go.
Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday I press it a little bit. This might be the case.
They begin the drive with Williams.
They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
You know, it's not just all athleticism from defensive linemen. Let's give them a little credit for their football intelligence as well. Read and react by them, understood the play call, and stacked it up and stuffed the run.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 9.
Marino sets up. He finds his man, complete. That's Clayton. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And now at this point in the first half, you've got to realize as an offense, you're not going to get it all back in one fell swoop. This is going to be about sustained drives and making sure you finish with points. And that's a good throw there for a first down.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, he tried to bounce it outside, but that's obviously not his game. He's too much of a straight-line runner.
Yeah, him in the outer third of the field, not a recipe for success. That time a loss. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Marino here from the gun. Well, this is caught by Williams. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Marino will throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. The kick by Sanders is good, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So they get the 3. It was 4th and 1, and I think you were doing what I was doing. I was looking down at the sideline. I'm not sure the offensive unit wanted the 3. They wanted to go for it.
But when have we ever seen a unit that didn't want to go for it in that situation, right? Sometimes it's just way more important to have the points on the board than to worry about any type of a gamble.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And New York set to take the field. They'll be in search of their initial points in the contest, trailing 9-0 as they begin with a first down. Namath. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
First down, here's the run with Martin. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3.
From the gun is Namath. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 44-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Now Namath.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Back to the ground, Martin. And he'll get this down close to a first down at about the Dolphins' 34. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Back to throw here. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
2nd and 9.
A give to Martin here, out of the gun. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
And he is going to have a Jets first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And he is going to lose yardage here. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. They'll set up a throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. The Dolphins do the job defensively there, and now it brings up 4th.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Folk's kick is good.
And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So from an offensive perspective, at least able to get on the board here right in front of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, now it's time to talk about complimentary football, isn't it? Because if the defense can force a 3 and out,
There could be enough time on the clock that they can get the ball back for their offensive guys and maybe put some more points on the board before the half.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Yep. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Here's Marino to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Clayton. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4.
Again, it's Marino. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Focus in on what we got to do here.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. Here's Marino. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
On 1st and 10, it's Marino. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Marino's incompletion on 1st down leads to 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. That's good for 28 yards.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here.
Now Marino.
He'll drop this down to Williams.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Now it's Marino. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. Center's kick is good, and the lead stretches to 9. It's now 12-3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away.
So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Namath now from the gun.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They run over center with Martin and give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 5.
Johnson goes in motion left.
Now they show jet sweep it instead, or run up the middle here.
And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They run it again with Martin. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They'll try the middle with Martin. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 5. To throw is Namath.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And a 10th carry here for Martin.
Christian Wilkins there defensively for the stop.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Off the play fake, it's Namath.
And Anderson's got it. Only able to gain a couple there. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. There's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5.
54 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. From 6 yards away.
And the Jets are back within a score.
An out route there for the score. A quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands. Knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Folk. And the lead is down to 2. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run it again with Williams. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Here comes 3rd down and 7.
To throw is Marino.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Marino to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jackson. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
2nd down and 6 now.
Marino sets up.
It's Jackson again on the reception.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5.
Now we give up the middle to Williams. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Marino on play action.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And how about this, a fake? And this is caught. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. And they were right in that gray area on the edge of long field goal range, maybe too short to punt it. So the defense probably was expecting this was a possibility.
They should have been, and in most cases, what you do on defense is you go to what they call punt safe. In other words, you leave your defense on the field, prepare for them to possibly go for it, and then you just have a little bit different responsibilities. You're not really trying to get a big return. You just want to make sure you get the ball back. But they fell asleep at the switch. Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. From the red zone now, Marino on first down. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Marino off of play action.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Marino will throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Now the Jets defense making things difficult there. 4th down. Jason Sanders now for the Miami field goal. This one from 48 yards away. Sanders' kick is good, and that's going to up the lead to 15-10. So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone.
Yeah, get the trainer. They're going to need this guy, and they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And he returns this to the 22. So out now come the Jets.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They try to fire up the running game with Martin. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Pretty effective blitz there to stop the draw play right in its tracks.
And actually, when they blitz, draw play is supposed to work very well. You're supposed to have them bypass the runner, and he slips past them. But they put their eyes in the right place, took away all the creases, and slowed him down in a big way.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Here's Namath.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Namath to throw.
And that would be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
Oh, the return is Scott.
And a 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, that was definitely a surprise there. Handed to the big guy on first down. Heck, the first play of the drive. And when you see him get to the second level, as a former safety, I can just tell you, your eyes get really wide because you know you've got a lot to deal with at that point.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
53 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
They go play action now. Marino firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another 18-yard gain. They had 18 on the previous snap as well.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football. It's also Dolphin lead to begin quarter number 4. Marino's incompletion on first down leads to 2nd and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe try to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
On 3rd down, Marino to the goal line, but it's incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a 1-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
The kick by Sanders is good, and that'll push the lead up to 8. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. And remember, despite giving up the field goal, this is still a 1-score game. They're in need of the touchdown and a 2-point conversion. A field goal on this drive likely doesn't do them much good. On 1st and 10 now, Namath
completing it to the right side, Johnson. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
This will be caught over the middle here by Quebec. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Up the middle, it's Martin. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On second down, it's Namath. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively, getting inside the quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. Another important fourth-quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Marino. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
They give it to Williams, running right. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. 30 yards.
And the Dolphins have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this fourth quarter.
You get in a second and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
And New York set to take the field.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Back to throw now in his own end zone. Johnson with a completion over the middle. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
Here's the Jets punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch is taken here, a step or 2 inside the 45-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at the 45. They go play action with Marino. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Here's Marino. It's caught by Jackson. Then he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need.
And the Jets are right back in this football game.
Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
New York set to take the field.
The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. Play fake, now Namath. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete. Second and 10. Namath.
And the catch made by Johnson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Throwing left side, it's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 36. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Throwing on 2nd down is Namath.
They set up the screen to Martin. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins 19. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Now Namath.
And his throw here is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They give to Martin. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
To throw is Namath.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the slot. Complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And it's 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On the counter, here's Williams.
And he can muster only a couple here to the 24.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I know this game's winding down and people are getting tired, and that's when you really want a big body guy running the football. But I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use him more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught, take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Another run on second down, trying to cover up.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game.
Guys ready to get it on right now? Get this ride, dog. Don't stop that motor.
Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Marino sets up. And that is incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Taken in at the 22. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. So the Jets now down by 15. 1:45 to play. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance.
Namath to throw on 1st down.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Throwing is Namath. Down the right sideline. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15.
That one was hard to fathom. They were in the dime. They had 6 DBs back there. They still lost it.
Great word, because I'm right there with you. I don't understand how they couldn't pick him up. But don't be surprised next week early, there's some extra people in the locker room, maybe a tryout or 2 for those guys who missed him.
Namath's throw complete there to Johnson.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Here's 2nd and a yard. Namath now from the gun.
He's got it. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Here's 1st and goal. from the gun is Namath.
And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for one here and save the possible two-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for two here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you're wondering why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
Folk connects on the extra point as this gets them back within a touchdown and a two-point conversion. So with just under 40 seconds to go, you figure this is going to need to bounce their way if they have any shot. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game.
It's showtime, baby. Rock and roll, baby. That's smart, baby.
Marino's going to take a knee, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
A lot more was on the line in this one than just defending your home field, CD. They defend their home field against a division rival and get the victory, so this one feels a little extra special.
It has to, right? There's always just a little more emphasis on games like this. Everyone talks about playing each game the exact same way, but you and I both know that is not true. Division rivals, you want to take care of business not just at home, but against a team that you really don't like very much, too.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.